Today we're playing a game to test your knowledge of how to properly lock your bike. Today I'm going to present you with 8 different types of bike lock. All of them locked badly, and your job is to figure out what's wrong with it. And I'm excited today because this video is bringing on a new sponsor, and that is Abus Locks. They make amazing bike security products. And not only have they provided me 8 different types of locks, they're also providing expertise on how to use them. And so the goal of this video is to show you how to properly lock your bike, no matter which type of lock you're using. And if you still have questions about keeping your bike safe after watching this video, drop your questions into the comment section and we'll get an expert from Abus to answer them in a future video. Now, to get started, we're using this little flexible lock. It's a combination lock. It's called the Abus Combiflex Travelguard. Tell me how this bike is badly locked using this lock. So what's wrong with this? Well, lots of things, but I thought I'd start easy. The easy answer here is like this lock is entirely too small to lock a bike. There's just no security here. This is so easy to cut and take. In fact, this lock is not even intended to lock your bikes. I'll show you what it's actually for. This lock is actually for locking accessories to your bike. So if you ever get somewhere with your helmet or your bag and you want to leave it behind, this lock is a nice little convenient lock to like secure your bag or your helmet to your bike. For short little stints, I would not leave it too long, but it's a nice little addition. Next up is this cable lock. It is called the Microflex 6615K. It has a security rating of 5 out of 15. Now tell me what's wrong with this picture. Did you spot the problem? Well, there's a couple here, but the first one, the main one here, is the way this is locked. This may look locked, but it's actually only wrapped around the seat post. And so a thief could come along and just move the bike and unwind this. And then they're off with your bike. So that's one problem. The other problem is, I didn't even mean to do this. I accidentally left the key in there, which I've actually done out in the wild before. So don't leave the key in there. And the third problem, of course, is that this cable lock is just not enough to secure your bike by itself. This is better as a supplementary piece of security, which I'll talk a little bit more about later. Next up is this lock, the Abus 4204K Goose. Now it is a chain lock that's a bit of a step up on the security level, but it's still soft and padded and pliable and quite light actually too. So let's find out what's wrong with this lock setup. Now, there's actually a couple of good things about this setup. The good things are that this is a kid's bike, clearly, that a kid's bike is locked up. It can be really tough to get kids to carry locks because they're kind of heavy. This Goose is a pretty good option because it's fairly light, but offers decent security as well. So that's a good thing. The bad thing, of course, is not the lock, but the fence. Yes, chain link fence. It's so easy to snip the wires of this chain link fence. Locking to fences is a bad idea. Let's say this fence really is the only option for locking your bike. A better option here would be this. So this is still not perfect. Poles often are not the best, especially if you can, just lift your bike over the pole. I think that's a pretty common mistake. But this one, it would be really difficult to snip all of these. So it's not a perfect scenario, but given this is the only option, it's much better than just the fence itself. Next up is the Abus 8808C. This is a pretty heavy-duty chain lock with a combination, and it is rated at a 9 out of 15 on the security level. What kind of mistake could be made with this lock? So did you catch the mistake on that one? The mistake was not locking your bike up at home. I just wheeled it into the garage and left it there. I'm surprised actually how many people I hear who have bikes stolen from their homes, from their garages, from their yards, from their sheds, from their common areas in their apartments. Sometimes I think we spend a lot of time thinking about locking it up when we're out in the city and not enough time at home. Now here's a suggestion from Abus. It's a Granit WB-A65 plus the bike holder. So really what it is helps you secure your bike to a wall. Now it comes with this secure sort of bracket that holds your bike, and then it's got a really nice solid ring that you can wrap a lock through. It's built to go into concrete. That's the most secure place for it. I wouldn't recommend doing what I've done here. I put it into this fence just for purposes of showing an example today. You feed your lock through this ring and you lock it securely. If you've got a combination lock in your home, it's easy for the bike to come and go, and then you can keep your U-lock always on your bike. You don't have to take it off the bike and lock it at home. You've got another one here ready to go. So if you can afford 2 locks, I think that's a pretty nice setup. So, how are you doing? Doing good? Okay, let's keep going. So next up is a long chain lock with a little ring on it, and this one's called the Abus Infinity Loop 1806. So it's a chain lock. It's pretty solid. It's ranked a 6 out of 15, so not the most secure lock, but what it lacks in strength, it makes up for in length. So let's put this into action and see what I've messed up. A lot of bikes get stolen off of the backs of racks on vehicles. However, there is a problem with this. This looks nice and secure, doesn't it? But it's actually not actually secured. If I just unravel this a little bit, do a little bit like, go like this. Look at that, it's not even locked to the rack. So that would be an easy one to get rid of. So there is a better way. The nice thing about this lock is it has this loop, which opens up a whole new realm of possibilities. So I'm actually going to loop this through the rack at the bottom here. That way I know it's secured to the rack. And then I'm going to loop it through both the frame and the wheel, and then bring that right back down there and lock it up here. So there you go. Next up is a folding lock, and I've used folding locks for years because I love the convenience of them. This is a Abus Bordo 6200K, and it's actually ranked pretty highly on the security scale for a folding lock. It's ranked 13 out of 15. Let's spot the problem. Well, the lock job actually here isn't bad. The frame is locked, the back wheel is locked, so in that regard, it's pretty good. The problem with this one is the thing that it's being locked to, and that's this tree. That's a problem in a couple of ways. One is just don't lock your bikes to trees. It's bad for the tree. But also for a really tiny tree, sometimes the trees are easy to bend and you can actually lift the bike over that, which is really easy. And sometimes a little tree like this is really easy to cut down. So a really motivated thief could really easily actually cut that tree and lift your bike off there, and they would be gone in no time. So the point here is to pay attention not just to the lock, but what you're locking it to. Make sure that it's not something that's easy to remove or easy to cut. Okay, now we're getting into the serious locks. This is a U-lock. These are generally considered the most secure type of lock, although there's all kinds of nuances between the different types of U-locks. This one's ranked 12 out of 15, so not the most secure, but it's actually fairly light for a U-lock. This is called the Ultimate 420K. Now let's see how I can mess this one up. So the problem here, of course, is that the frame of the bike is not even locked. This is just locked through the wheel. And if you have a front wheel, especially with a quick release, a little lever that you can just pop down, your front wheel can come off. The whole bike will just slide off and be gone. You'll return to find only your wheel left behind, which would be tragic. Which brings up another point. On a lot of bikes, there are quick releases on seats and wheels, and I would say get rid of these whenever you can. If you're riding a lot in the city and you want to leave your bike out, the convenience of those is not worth the risk. Get rid of the quick release, put some security skewers on here is what they're called. So it's a better way of doing this? Well, generally what you want to do is make sure you're locking inside one of the triangles, the front or the back triangles. You got to make sure your frame is locked. So I'm actually going to adjust the position of this bike. Get it up here. Going to try to get the back wheel and the frame all attached to the rack properly. There we go. There, that's a much more secure way of locking it. Okay, now we're at the top of the security level list. This is the Abus Granit Super Extreme 2500, ranked 15 out of 15 on the Abus security level score. The trade-off, of course, is weight. These are pretty heavy, so if you've got an e-bike, these would be a great lock for that. But you still got to use it right, so let's see what I did wrong on this one. Okay, so this one is locked to the frame and to the back wheel. That looks pretty good. So what's the problem? Well, it's a trick question. The problem here is that I missed locking it to the rack, which is actually a mistake I've made out in the wild sometimes. You get so focused on making sure it's locked to the right part of the frame that you miss looping it through the rack as well. So is there an easier bike to steal? Probably not. What's the proper way? There we go, that's better. That's secured to the rack. The frame is locked, the back wheel is locked. Just one other tip I'd like to offer here. If you do insist on using those quick release wheels, there is a good option, you've probably seen people do this too, of having a second lock. This is where one of these cable locks can come in handy actually as a second piece of security. Make sure it gets wrapped through your front wheel and to the rack as well, or to the frame, or ideally all of them. But I'm gonna give you a bonus mistake here too, because I've seen this happen also. So the idea here is right, in that you use the cable lock to lock your front wheel and the U-lock to lock your frame. The problem here is the U-lock's actually not locked to the frame at all. You see this? This was a trick. See, the frame is loose. The only thing holding this in is this cable lock, which of course are really easy to cut. So you have to make sure that the U-lock is securing the frame, and then this is securing your front wheel. So there you go. So how'd you do? Well, if you didn't do so well on these, don't stress about it. Think about it like this. Bike theft tends to be a crime of opportunity, and the best that you can do is reduce the opportunities for that crime to occur. So make good decisions, take the time to do things as well as you can, but also realize there's no guarantee to any of this. And in the bigger picture, there's also a limit to what we can do as individuals. The real solution to bike theft, if there is one, is a community-wide initiative. I've got a whole playlist on bike theft that goes through some of this. But we've seen real impact in communities where everybody gets on board to try to tackle this problem. Police, community associations, bike shops, retailers, everybody's got to care about this issue and do something about it together, collectively. That's when you can really make an impact. Until then, do the best you can, and don't let the fear of theft stop you from riding your bike, because your life will be better with your bike in it. See you next time.